All right. I should be streaming now. Requesting to be live. Let's see if I can hear myself. Yes, I can hear myself. Okay. Okay. Tonight we're gonna do most of the logic for the game. What I want is the main thing I want to reach tonight is being able to, when two cards are being shown, I want to be able to compare them, and if they're the same, basically transform them into found cards, disable them. Yeah, that's going to be the main point tonight. There's one thing I've done offline. I'm going to show it really quickly. Last time we were talking about... I'm going to show you the... Where is it? Here. Last time we had this pattern where we have a list of cards and we want to be changing the cards only if it matches a certain postulate. In our case, the postulate is, well, if the card ID is the same as card ID that I'm searching for. So we were having something like a map, and then we were basically doing, okay, for all cards, if c.id equals card ID, then do something else, do something else. So A or B. That's nice. That's also how it should be done. I've asked on9 on the Slack. That's how people do it. But since we're using list extra already for some of their goodies, for the group buy mostly, then I thought, okay, they have update if here, which is exactly doing what I want. So update if is taking postulate that returns a boolean. It's making a check for every single element. If the check is valid, then it's mapping a certain list. So I've just refactored that. The next thing we want to do is, well, we're going to want to apply some extra checks when a card is flipped. So when a card is flipped, we're going to also want to look at the list of cards that there are visible. We're going to look at whether they're the same or not. And if they're the same, then we're going to want to do something with it. And all of that happens here when a Pokemon card is clicked. This is what today is happening. So we're taking the model, taking the card that's been that has been clicked on, and update the. We're gonna flip it. We're gonna have to be doing a bit more than that now. The first thing I'm gonna want to do is I'm wondering how to do that. My first hinge is to. So tonight's gonna be a bit more experimental than the last sessions. I'm gonna really be doing it live, trying a method, and we'll see if it works or not. Maybe I'm gonna have to redo this streaming later. We'll see. My first hunch would be to do something like this: number of cards flipped, and if it's 0, then flip. If it's more, then do something. I don't quite like that because it gives us an if and else. I'd rather try to do a mapping. So we could try to do like this first. We could do let in new set of cards, and we're just gonna put that here for now. So this is the function that's right now, and I'm doing that because it's going to make it more obvious what we're doing. We're going to map things into each other. So we're going to flip the card, and then it's returning a list of cards. Well, once we flipped it, I'm thinking, well, you know what? We could map this list of cards into another function that returns a list of cards. What can I do? I can do it like this. Disable if two flipped. So it's going to take a list of cards and return a list of. I'm experimenting right now. We're going to build small pieces together we're going to build small pieces one after the other, and once we have all the pieces, we're going to match, put them together, and it should do what I want. Right now, I'm just going to disable cards in case 2 cards have been flipped. And I'm going to take the current cards, and then what I'm going to do that is let's see, we need an intermediary function, or right now at least I want one, and I'm going to do number of cards flipped. It's going to take a list of cards. It's going to return an int. Cards, and we're going to do it. Oh, it's going to be the first time we do it together. I have it here. So in functional programming, most of the time, one of a few things happen. The first one is going to be a mapping. So we're going to take a list of something, and for each element, we're going to transform it into something else. So from strings, we make ints. From ints, we make cards. From cards, we make something else. That's the first way to do it. The second thing that tends to happen is we want to reduce that into something else. So out of a list of cards, we want, for example, a single integer, so the number of cards. Out of a list of cards, we want a number of cards visible. That's what we're going to do that. And that is typically what is called a fold. Let me see. I see that I have a compilation error here. Oh yeah, it's because of that thing. Okay, we're good now. So number of cards flipped. We're going to do a list.fold left. Fold left is going to take a few things in input. It's going to take, we see it here, it's going to take a function that takes a card in this case, and that is taking an integer because we want an integer as an output, and it's going to transform a card into an integer. And the way we're going to do that is like, is my card visible? And we're going to do that with a if then right now. If my card is visible, then the curve is going to be +1. Else, my pointer is going to be the same. I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to apply that to cards. And how that's going to work is, okay, I start at 0. I have a list of cards, say 1, 2, 3, 4. What's going to happen is I'm going to take 1. Card number 1, is it visible? No, then I'm going to keep 0. Card number 2, is it visible? Yes, then I'm going to take my 0, I'm going to add 1 and have 1. 3 is visible, I'm going to add 1 to 1, which is 2. So hopefully, if I'm applying this, we're going to try to display it on our UI. And the way to display it is pretty simple. We're going to take just a text element. So text element takes a string. So I do a from int. And I'm going to do number of cards flipped. Cards. Oh, it's going to be model.cards. Sorry for that. Up. And that's not cards. It's a grid ready Pokemon list, I think the name is. Let's see. Grid ready Pokemon list. Whoop. And I'm expecting that it starts at 0 and then goes up slowly. Let's see. We are still having a problem. Okay. List of cards flipped. How does it work? Yes. Add this instead. Okay. One more problem. Let's see. Yes. It's a minor typo. There we go. We are now compiling. So we start at 0. If I click 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, shuffle 0. Awesome. Okay. Now that we have this little thing, well, then I want to apply that. Disable if to flipped. I'm going to take my cards and I'm going to say if number of cards flipped from cards these two. Then, I don't know yet, else cards. And here's what I want to do is set cards as disabled. Except it doesn't exist yet, this disabled. We haven't put it in yet. Well, what I've been doing just before the stream is, okay, I was thinking about how to do disabled. There's several ways to do disabled. We could make the whole thing disappear. I didn't want to have to do that, because if we make everything disappear, then I'm going to have to know which items of the grid is disabled. So we have to have a card anyways that's just not visible. So what I was thinking is, okay, what we could do is add a new type of card here, which is like disabled, or could call it found as well, or you know, let's call it found. Basically, okay, we found a pair. It's fine. And the way we could do that, apply it, is simply the same as for hidden. We could just have an icon that just shows. Now, remember, everywhere we use visible, we're gonna have to be careful now. The number of cards flipped is visible, yes, but flip state is gonna be a problem. So we go from visible to hidden, hidden to visible. Okay, it seems like it's working now. Let's see. Then we're gonna do a list map here, and we want to disable all the cards that are visible. So we're gonna take our cards, and here we're gonna apply an anonymous function that takes a card, and if the card.state is visible, then we're gonna do we're gonna replace the card, the state of the card, and I'm gonna use found, else we're gonna return C. And we've already seen once, I'm probably gonna use that more in the future, but that's basically an update if, where the state is gonna be C.state is visible. Oops. And then in case it is visible, then C. And it's list extra. We just okay. Well, we have this nice method, and what's going to happen is, well, if the number of cards flipped is 2, then we're going to disable the cards. Well, we just have to actually apply it now, and we're going to apply that to our new set of cards. And hopefully what's going to happen now is found. Interesting. Yes. Okay, I know what's happening. So somehow it is doing what we want, except the visualization is not working. Let's see. Here, if cards visible, yeah, there you go. So we're gonna do a case now. Case card state visible. Let's see, how do we do a case in Elm? Well, I already have one up, so I can look into it. Case off, and then an arrow. Okay. So we have our card state. Well, it can be visible now. It can also be hidden. But it can also be found. Now, that's new. Oops. Okay. Let's see. There you go. Okay, it's not beautiful. I don't know why. It seems like found has a there's this haha. There's this vector stud thing at the end. I should have taken a better image. But okay, we get the point. So now it is strange though. Let's see, because the number of cards is not 2, or is it? Oh yeah, visible is working as well. Okay, that's how it's working. Every time I'm putting a second image in visible, those 2 images become found. It's close enough from what we want though. The only thing we need now is to know if those 2 cards are the same. We can do that. Let's see. Check visible cards. Have same ID. And I'm definitely not a pro in the functional programming world. I know almost nothing, to be very honest. What I like though is we're always working without any state. We're really working in small increments, and they're all very easy to think about, because right now, okay, I'm just checking how many cards have been flipped. Now I'm just going to check if the visible cards have the same ID. That's really handy, because I don't have to think much. So I'm going to take a list of cards, and it's going to return a boolean. It's going to be a bool. It's going to be cards, and there must be a filter method. Yes. Okay, so we're going to do it like this. I'm going to filter first, and then I'm going to, let's see. If I do less.filter, I'm going to say state is visible. Cards. Then what I have as an output is the list of cards that are visible. Okay, might be 0, might be 1, might be 2, but just those cards. And now what I want to do is I want to see if all satisfy something. But I do not know yet. I do not know yet what the ID. Can I? So if I knew it was 4, I would be fine with Pokemon ID. What I know is I want to check that they all have the same ID, but how do I do that? Ooh la la. Oh my god, I don't know how to do that. I thought I could use just all, except let's see, I'm checking online how to check if 2 elements are the same. Oh. Let's see what Elm is giving us. Maybe list extra is going to take us. Oops. Let's look at list extra. And I want it to return a boolean. So I can search for something that returns a bool. All different. Let's see. If we have all different, they should be all same, right? Da-da-da-da. Ah. Maybe in ah, that's annoying. I really didn't see that coming. Let's see, can we do it any other way? I could easily, in a non-functional way, right? I could just take the ID of the head of the list and then look at the rest and see if they're all the same. But I would like to do it. I'd like to do it in a proper manner. And somehow it would also work because I'm never expecting more than 2 elements in that list, right? I mean, because we filter on the visible, and I'm going to use this disable, these 2 flipped. So I'm expecting always 2, which means that I could use the, am I on list or list? I could use the all different for tonight. That would work. Let's see, I could do it like this. So now we have, and I'm gonna map my list, and I'm just gonna take the Pokemon ID of the list. And then once I have this, then I can do a list.extra. Dot all different. Oh. That's gonna return a boolean. Okay, except this is gonna be very bug prone. It's totally not what I want, and it's gonna be exactly doing the opposite of what I want. So it's gonna return true if they are all different, but I want to be all the same, so I'm gonna do a not here. It's gonna return the opposite of all different. Okay. Well, now that I have this, the next thing I want to do is I want to apply this. So if the number of cards is flipped is 2, is there an and in Elm? Let's try like this. Let's try the usual and. And check visible cards of semi-ID cards. So now I want to do a disable. That's not going to work. Oops. Yeah, that should help. So I'm checking that the number of cards flipped is 2 and they have the same ID. Then, in that case, you're gonna replace the visible by found. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep going. That should do what I want. Let's try it. Okay. Let's see. There you go. Now we can find pairs. What is not working though is, there you go. What is not working is the fact that we can flip more than 2. So in case we have 2, well, I can do that. I don't like it because it's going to be ifs in ifs, but if the visible cards have the same ID, then I can do this. Else, I could flip back all the cards that are so list dot extra update if. Oops. We're gonna take all the cards that are visible. And I'm gonna take back into hidden. And we should be pretty close. Oops. What did I do? Oh, it's a dot here. We should be pretty close from a function. Oh, okay. Aha. So it actually is working. The only thing I don't like, oh, I can click again on found. So I see a few bugs now, but it is working somehow, the logic. I want to not do anything if the card's already clicked, but I also want to be able to see haha. So right now, on click, I'm applying the list already, but I do not get to see the card, which is a little underwhelming. The first thing I want to do is flip card with ID here is gonna flip state. If my state is visible, then hidden. We're going to transform this if into a case. Case my state. Or in case we are visible, we're staying with the hidden. In case we are hidden, then we're going to go to visible. In case we're found, well, we're going to stay at found. That will solve the fact that we can click on found images. See, I cannot click anymore. So those are being disabled. I'm not sure how to fix this, the fact that we cannot see the image, probably with some timing, but I want to play with timing. Oh, there you go. Okay. I'm going to make a little commit now. Add some of the logic. I have to think how to fix this this visibility thing. I might have to apply something. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure how to do it. Let's see how much time I have been live. A little over a half an hour. Okay. What else can we do tonight? That would make sense. It's actually surprising how fast we got to something. I don't quite like all the hoops that we're going through, but we can refactor later. And I'm thinking we'll never get into a situation where we have more than, oh. Now one of the things we would need to do at some point is, if all the cards have been found, then, well, we probably need to have some kind of, you've won message, do you want to start again? That's another one. I am trying to think if I can do the if we can do the visibility thing now, or if you have to think about it now before next time. So the one thing I don't like right now is that you do not get to see the second image. One way I could do it is by delaying everything a little bit. So I could do, and I'm thinking that's how I'm going to actually do it. But it's going to introduce a bug that I don't like, that if you click more than twice in a second, then it might trigger something bad. I'm thinking that this Pokemon card select, we could make it simpler. We could just flip it in case. So we do the whole check. We forget about this whole check, and we do it in we fire a command there, and this command, what I don't know how to do is how to fire it after a little time, but we could fire it after, say, 400 milliseconds, so that the game actually shows both items and then fires. We could try. Let me think. Let's see. I'll try. But I don't know where I'm going right now. So, trigger checks. I'll trigger card checks. Okay. So right now we're not doing the triggered card checks anymore. So I'm going to get an error, which is expected. Trigger card checks. It's not taking anything as an input. It's all good. It's going to return the same for now. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove those things. Do no checks anymore. And we're going to run the trigger card checks here. So it's going to fire a new event. And here, in the model, we're going to replace our model where the grid ready Pokemon list, it's going to be disable if two cards flipped, model.grid ready Pokemon list, and I can remove that here. And let's see. Something is off with the fourth branch. Okay, here, what are we removing? We're returning command message, but we're returning just a message. Ta-da! How do you fire? A command message. Uh-oh. I think the problem is coming from here. I'm not doing this command in the right way. I just don't know how to do it. Command of none. I'm trying to look somewhere else. Here. Well, we're gonna have to look at the doc, I guess. So I'm firing a message. How do I fire a comment? No, well, that's pretty much it. How do I turn a message into a comment message? Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, that's a long read. That's a long read, but I'm gonna bookmark it because I want to learn about that. But we're gonna look into the Stack Overflow answer. How are we gonna use that without knowing what it's doing? Okay, it's explaining a few things here. Okay, update can be called recursively. If I want to fire a comment, could do a map of command onto message. But I don't like copy pasting without understanding. Okay, I'm tempted to do that for tonight because I don't want to get you hanging too long. So I'm gonna take this run thing here, which I'm expecting is not extremely. So we're basically it's gonna run something and make it a success because it could fail. Okay, I have to dig into it. I'll do it for next time. And here we're gonna trigger our trigger count checks. Oh, we're gonna need a run trigger count checks. Though import task is not known. Oops, task. Okay, so what I'm expecting now, the difference is basically that instead of flipping and doing your checks, now we're flipping and then triggering something that will do the checks for us. I'm hoping that my computer is laggy enough that you will be able to see both cards for a little while before actually doing those checks here. But I don't hope so much for it. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. So ideally what I would like to do is do that, but 5 milliseconds later. And I don't know how to do that. So I'm gonna do one last attempt. I know that there is some I know that there is a way to delay comments. That's probably what I'm gonna want to do after 2 milliseconds, 200 milliseconds or something. But I don't really want to do that in front of you. I want to be able to read the documentation first. Yeah, that seems like exactly what I want to do. Delay after milliseconds. That sounds like exactly what I want. Okay. Let's see. Flow time unit message, command message. Oh, that looks cool. Let's give it a small try because it looks very simple. Helm install. What's the name? Andrew McMurray. I do not know this person, but if it's working fast, then we will have to thank him. Okay. And here, what we will want, I think, is import delay first. And here, delay dot after 500 trigger card. Oh my god, if that works. No, that's not gonna work, of course not. Oh, it needs a time unit. Let me see. Oh, okay. Delay dot milliseconds. Really? If that works, I will be surprised and happy and send a little thank you note on his GitHub. Haha. 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 It works. Gee. Ah. Beautiful. Okay. Ah, it is not quite there yet. We see that it's going a bit fast, a bit too fast sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah. Here now. It's catching up. Beautiful though. Okay. Add delay. Wow. I'm surprised. It's awesome. We're getting really close from having a functional game, actually. I wonder why is this delay not always working. If I click somewhere else, then it seems to be up again. I have to read a little more. Maybe there's some gotchas. That's awesome. Okay, let's stop for tonight. I think the next thing we have to do is basically just some beautifying, like allow for bigger grids or small grids. See, you've won. Congratulations. Some CSS. I mean, some styling. More Pokemons, and we should be good. Okay, then I'll leave you to it for tonight. I'll read more into why this delay is not always working as it should. I'll try online as well, just to see if it's not some kind of artifact here because I'm running something. And then maybe I also want to not have this blue circle around the stuff that I click. But we'll keep that for next time. Alright, see you next time. I won't be streaming for the coming days. I'll be in Spain. But see you soon. And au revoir. À plus.